Or there's people who see God as nothing more than an angry judge. They can't conceive of God being forgiving because all they picture is, oh, he's looking down on us being bad and he's just angry, just waiting to smite us. What's interesting is the Bible gives us a picture of the patience and the mercy and the grace of God. And everybody likes to turn to the New Testament to see that because we seem to have this weird idea that the Old Testament, well, that's kind of angry, vengeful God. But in the New Testament, you have Jesus, who's all about love and mercy. But if you want to see some amazing pictures of God's love and mercy, you turn over to the Old Testament. Because where people look and they want to see anger and vengeance and wrath, I see love and mercy over and over and over again. You have Adam and Eve in paradise. One rule, one simple rule, don't eat from that tree. For in the day you do, you will surely die. And what do? They eat from the tree. One rule, don't eat from that tree. They eat from the tree. And what does God do? Come down angry and vengeful and smite them down? No, he comes gentle, peaceful in the garden. Adam, where are you? And then he stays execution and clothes their nakedness. Grace and mercy. And then you have Cain, the first murderer, who out of envy murders his brother. And what does God do? Does he come vengeful and wrathful and smite him down? No. He gives him a mark to make sure that no one else is going to carry out vengeance against him. You have the flood, and people go, wow, that was just a big, mean thing to do. Flood the world. Yeah, but when did God choose to flood the world? He waited and waited and waited and waited until the scripture tells us that every thought of the heart of men was only evil continually. You see Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's like, yeah, there's God raining fire. That's so vengeful. Really? Because remember him talking with Abraham, and Abraham said, now wait a minute, God. What if there's some righteous people in that town? What if there's 50 righteous men? Would you spare the town? And God said, yeah, I'll spare the town. Okay, but what about, and he works them all the way down to 10. And God says, yes, if I can find 10 righteous men in that town, I will spare the town. And Abraham stops asking questions. Well, guess what? God doesn't spare the town, so we can assume he did not find 10 righteous men in the town. He waited and waited and waited and put off judgment to a time when the evil was so bad. Got Abraham, who on multiple occasions lies, who on multiple occasions shows lack of faith in God meeting his promise. It was the whole thing with Hagar. That was the reason for that. Jacob was a swindler and a cheat. Moses was a murderer. Joseph's brothers, the people who would be the progenitors of the nation of Israel, God's chosen people. What's the first thing we see of them when they come on the scene? They throw their brother in a pit and sell him into slavery. But God still works with them and through them. In the Exodus, the Israelites constantly whining and complaining, oh, wish we could go back to Egypt, at least as slaves, we had it better, constantly. Whenever they come to the promised land and God says, go take the land, they go, no, we can't, we're too scared. And then, whenever they do, finally, they don't obey fully and do what he commanded them to do fully, but he still loves them, protects them. They are his people. You look at the book of Judges, and it is a cycle of over and over and over again, these stiff-necked, rebellious people chasing after other gods. But every time they cry out, Lord, save us, he does. And on it goes. Far from the Old Testament being an image of this angry, vengeful, wrathful God, what we see going on in the Old Testament is a story of God withholding his wrath and judgment, and instead extending patience and grace and love and mercy to a disobedient people.
Glory to you, King of all days. Glory to you in the highest place.